to be.
25,000 Birmingham fans start to celebrate. For once in the second city derby, it's Aston Villa who takes second billing and second place. The fans have started to invade the pitch. Alec McLeish disappears back to the dressing rooms, and Birmingham City have a night they won't forget for a very, very long time. They have beaten Aston Villa and clinched a place in the semi-final of the League Cup for the first time in 10 seasons. We don't want to see these scenes. Celebrate by all means, but keep your seat and please don't start taunting the Villa fans at that end. That leaves an unpleasant taste to what's been a terrific night of football here, with Birmingham taking an early lead, Villa coming back to equalise, and then a late, dramatic, if rather fortunate winning goal by Nikola Zigic. And Birmingham have beaten Aston Villa by 2-1 and go into the semi-finals.
Well, you can see just what it means to those Birmingham fans trying to taunt their beaten rivals there. There are something like 500 extra police officers on duty here at Villa Park, at St Andrews this evening, and you can see the reason why they are required right now. Alan Kirbishley, in every respect, the most unlikely Birmingham City hero.
That's right. I mean, for long periods of that second half, you could see Villa perhaps the team to get the goal. They had lots of possession, but they didn't really create the chance, a clear-cut chance. And then the one effort that Birmingham had on target, it goes in. It was a good move, actually.
Those Birmingham fans being encouraged to leave the pitch right now, and thankfully, a great majority are doing just that. Do you have any sympathy with Aston Villa, your old club, Alan McInally?
They played well second half. I mean, lots of possession again, without really. I thought the goalkeeper played well for them, and their chances they had were few and far between. They'd almost one that almost nicked it for them, obviously. And again, Birmingham did just enough. A bit like you say, it's kind of written in the stars really for Zigic, who I thought was pretty poor in the second half to bag the winner.
So last night it was West Ham and Arsenal who went through. Tonight it's Birmingham City, and I can tell you that Ipswich are the fourth semi-finalists. They've beaten West Brom by a goal to nil, and Grant Ledbetter scored that goal from the penalty spot. So 4 remain, and the draw for the semi-finals coming up in just a couple of minutes' time here on Sky Sports. Nikola Zigic, the unlikely hero or villain, if you're a Villa supporter, in this semi-final. Well, Birmingham against Aston Villa games always have the potential to be explosive. I'm afraid that's been precisely the case here. These are the after-match scenes. Birmingham City fans flooding onto the pitch after their victory over Aston Villa. They've raced straight towards the Villa end to confront the Villa fans and literally dozens of police officers. Flares have been thrown into the Villa contingent there. The Villa contingent have been ripping seats from their hinges and throwing them back. The flares have been returned as well. They are quite shocking scenes. And when you think there are women, children, young men in that crowd as well, for flares to be thrown into them is quite simply criminal. The police, thankfully, in the last few minutes have managed to gain a semblance of control here at St Andrews. It's taken them 10 minutes or more to do so. And now that is the scene. The confrontation between Villa fans and Birmingham fans is over, and you can see the police are keeping a very tight grip on affairs. More than 500 police officers on duty here this evening. It's a game that always had the potential for trouble, and sadly that potential has been realised, and still some objects being thrown at that line of yellow-coated police officers. Which, Alan McInally, is all rather unfortunate.
Yeah, that makes you sad, doesn't it, watching a football match? I mean, it was a terrific cup tie. Both sides can be you know, happy that, I suppose obviously the Blues are that little bit happier they've managed to nick it, but it just sours it a little bit, because it has been a wonderful cup tie and a good city that both like the football teams, and it spills over to just, I don't know, it's just crazy. Some of these people are just, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen derbies in Scotland and in Germany as well as in England. Is the rivalry here as fierce as in any?
Well, having played in the Celtic Rangers game, it is because it's in the city, Jeff. It's as simple as that. And I said before, when I was at Aston Villa, to be fair, I mean, Birmingham weren't in the same positions they are now, and I think the derby has become more and more because of the simple reason we've got so many more. It's at a different stadium, there's more fans, etc., etc., and you know, feelings run very high. And of course, there is an added incentive tonight. It gets you in the semi-final of a cup. Now, to put one over in your near neighbours for that alone, never mind a league win, is something that I think they got a little bit too excited with.
Well, thankfully, the majority of fans are leaving the stadium right now, so we have our fingers crossed for a peaceful conclusion and no trouble on the streets around St Andrews. Let's concentrate on the football for a moment or two, shall we? Because it was an absolutely cracking match, dominated by Birmingham early on and later by Aston Villa. Chris Foy was a key figure, first of all awarding a penalty to Birmingham City, converted by Sebastian Larsson, but he didn't give what appeared to be a perfectly good second goal scored by Zigic on his assistant say-so. Agbonlahor levelled things up before Zigic scored a most unlikely winner. Let's hear from Ben Foster now and Barry Ferguson with Andy Burton.
Well, congratulations, Barry. We'll start with you. Can you just explain what that means to win a derby like that?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's been a long time coming. I'm just delighted to win. We're in a semi-final now, so you never know what could happen. We could get to Wembley.
Did the best team win?
Yeah, first half, I thought we done well. Villa came into it in the second half, but we've shown that mentality all season, and the guys never lie down, and thankfully we got the victory.
Ever feel like the game was out of your control at any stage?
Yeah, Villa had a few chances, but I was always confident that we could get the win.
Ben, this is a competition that I know you find special. You won it a couple of times with Manchester United. Have you allowed yourself to dream about winning it this year with Birmingham City, maybe?
I think we're pretty much concentrating on the league, to be honest. You know, it's gone fantastic so far, the run we've had. You know, semi-final, you know, get through that and you're in the final. It's as simple as that. And for a team like Birmingham, it's a huge achievement, and you know, we're buzzing in there, absolutely buzzing. Anyone
who's through to the semi-finals is in with a great shout, though, surely.
Yeah, you know, it's that's you know, cup football for you. You know, anyone can win, anyone can, you know, cause big upsets, and you know, hopefully we can keep doing it.
Did you think that it was not comfortable, but there weren't too many worrying moments for you?
No, didn't get put under too much pressure. You know, you've got to give massive credit to the lads in front as well. You know, Scotty and Rog, you know, as usual, sort of heading heads and last-ditch tackles and things like that. And you know, it's just nice to play behind players like that.
Barry, final thought to you, because I know you're freezing and you want to get back in the dressing room. Unbeaten in 7, Villa were going into this game in derbies against Birmingham City. Do you feel that there's evidence that maybe the gap is closing a little bit?
Yeah, we'd like to think so. The manager's building a new team. He's brought in a few new players again in the summer, and they're settling in really well. So no, I can see that we're starting to close the gap in Villa, certainly.
Great stuff. Well, listen, you're the Carling man of the match today. Well done. Great performance.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
And Alan McInally, Barry Ferguson, a bit of an unsung hero as far as Birmingham are concerned. He never gets the headlines.
All day long, Jay. I thought he was absolutely magnificent tonight. It wasn't just me that gave him man of the match. It was Alan Kirkliston was here as well, in case you think it's a Scottish thing. But he was I mean, he mentions, the goalkeeper mentioned about Scott Dan and Roger Johnson. Yeah, they are fantastic, and they have been fantastic, including Ridgewell and including Stephen Carr. But in the middle of the park, he doesn't give the ball away, and he keeps possession for them, and he keeps them ticking over. And that's why I think he's such an important player for Birmingham.
Ironic, wasn't it, that Nikola Zigic, who looked like Bambi on ice for most of the evening, was the man who got the winning goal. No, it was a good move.
Well, it was a good move for Alec McLeish to keep him on the park. It's a lovely run. Look at Cameron Jones here. Just give it there. I'll make it my ball. Gets it in the box, and it's behind Collins. It's behind Luke Young as well. And when he gets the contact, you can see there's a little deflection. It just takes it over the outstretched arm of Brad Friedel, and there's nothing really Brad can do about it after that. And like you said, I don't know how many times Alec thought about You know, I don't know whether he's getting tired. He's not holding the ball up. He's, you know, it's coming back to us too quickly. And he eventually said, no, I'll keep him on, maybe for set pieces, etc. And he goes in and gets the winner. I mean, he'll be feeling fantastic, Zigic. He really will. But certainly in terms of modern play, of outfield play, you'll need to do better. But to score the winner, take your team to semi-final, you'll be feeling fantastic.
Villa will feel hard done to by the fact that they absolutely dominated the second half. But it's worth remembering in the first half, virtually all the chances went Birmingham's way, Alan.
All the chances, apart from the one where they scored. This is the penalty. Well, I mean, this is the goal.
Why is James Collins so deep from a goal kick there?
Well, the problem is, of course, he gets caught when Dunn goes to win the ball here. He gets caught a little bit, and Jerome does really well in muscling him out the ball, and then just lays it into Boyer. And Dunn, having already made the initial mistake, is desperate to get back into the box, brings down the pen. I mean, it's not a great pen because if he picks the right way, Friedel, he probably saves that. But probably, in terms of chances, no more than Birmingham deserved.
I mean, that was 1-0, and certainly the Birmingham contingent firmly believed, that they should have been 2 goals to the good, but Mr. Foy and his assistant disagreed.
Well, I agree as well with the Birmingham contingent. I thought they should have got this. Look at the header, it comes back, it's Zigic with a shot. Now, it's Ridgewell on the line. Now, I can only presume that the linesman on this side decides that he gets a touch on this. He's not interfering with play, he's not obstructing, which is the law now, the view of the goalkeeper. Now the ball goes over the line there because Friedel doesn't quite get when he makes the initial save here, Friedel.
No one in Friedel's eye line at
nothing,
all.
nothing. But that left arm takes it over the line. Now that's a goal. The problem is, of course, that I don't know whether the assistant has thought, Jeff, that he's got a touch on it. It's like the old style offside because he's this side of everybody. But in actual fact, it should have been a goal.
And to add insult to injury, Villa went to the other end almost immediately and levelled things up with a goal where, again, there was a hint, more than a hint of offside about it.
Well, it was offside. Lovely play, good play. Nice little ball into Clark here. And it just takes a slight deflection there off of Scott Dan. You can see Agbonlahor is just the other side of Boyer. He's just offside, and Boyer, having had a good game to be fair, just really got caught at centre-half area. You can see the little pass. When it goes into Agbonlahor, you think, yeah, he's going to score. He's got a great record against Birmingham. Hardly had a sniff in front of goal and manages to make it a half-time 1-1.
I know you're a former Villa man, but on the balance of play over the 90 minutes, would you say it was the right result?
Well, Villa had a lot of the ball. If you don't create, I mean, you heard Ben Foster saying there that Villa had a lot of the ball, but in terms of under pressure he wasn't under pressure an awful lot and didn't have a great deal to do. They just need to turn that real, possession into better goal chances. Now, it's a tough one, Jeff, but I think maybe Birmingham, with the chances they made, certainly in the first half, probably just edged it just.
Okay. Talking about people under pressure, Roy Keane's been under a bit of pressure at Ipswich, but that pressure has been relieved this evening. Grant Ledford's penalty, good enough for Ipswich to beat West Brom. Roberto Di Matteo made 9 changes from the side that played and won at Everton at the weekend and paid the price, and a rare smile flickers across Roy Keane's face because his Ipswich side are the one remaining championship side in the last 4 of the Carling Cup. It's time for the draw for the semi-finals of this year's Carling Cup now with George Gavin.
Thanks, Jeff. What a night we've had here at St Andrews. 92 clubs entered this competition. We're down to the last 4, and these are their numbers. Arsenal are number 1, Birmingham City are number 2, Ipswich Town, the only championship club left in the competition, are number 3, West Ham are number 4. The first leg of the semi-final will be on the week beginning January the 10th, and the second leg the week beginning January the 24th. The first team out will be home in the first leg. And to make the draw, we've got Don Goodman out of the commentary box and Alan Kirbishley out of the studio. Just a quick word, guys. Alan, 2-year-old clubs left in the semi-finals, aren't there?
Yeah, and probably, the opposition they had in the quarter-finals perhaps wasn't expected to get through, but they're both through, and there's some interesting connections between the 2 teams, I think.
Don, looking on from commentary, Birmingham City worthy winners, do you think?
I agree with Alan McAnally on chances. They were more of a threat in the final third. Aston Villa had a lot of the ball, had a lot of the territory, but they didn't really carve out too many opportunities with that. So, yeah.
OK, 4 teams left. Alan, if you draw out the first one, this will be the home team in the first leg. Number 3, Ipswich Town. 3 times previously in the semi-final, the last time back in 2001. Ipswich Town home in the first leg of the semi-final. And Don, they'll play?
Oh, play number 1, George. Number 1.
Number 1, Arsenal. Ipswich will play Arsenal in the semi-final. Ipswich home in the first leg against the Gunners, twice winners. Number 4 is West Ham United. I think we know who they'll play, Don.
They will play number 2, George.
Birmingham City. So there we go. It's Ipswich against Arsenal, West Ham against Birmingham City. The first leg in the week beginning January the 10th. The second leg in the week beginning January the 24th. Ipswich home first, West Ham home first. Those are the teams. Those are the dates. Back to you, Jeff.
So will David Gold be allowed into the game when West Ham come to Birmingham? This time round, of course, it pictures Gold and Sullivan and Brady up against their former club. Once again, this is the semi-final draw. Then, just to confirm, these games over 2 legs, remember. Ipswich, Roy Keane's championship side, who disposed of West Bromwich Albion, against Arsenal, and West Ham United against Birmingham City. 2 cracking semi-finals on the cards. I wonder what Alec McLeish makes of all that. Here he is now with Andy Burton.
Alex, you've just watched the draw. What's your reaction?
The great thing is that we're in the draw. We earned the right to be there, and you know, I'm really proud of the players. Fantastic efforts by them tonight, and you know, I felt we deserved it for our efforts over the piece and over a period of time when you think decisions are never going to go your way. We could have been 2-0 in instead of 1 each if the offside decision had gone our way, but you got to move on. The assistant made an honest mistake, and we finally got a reward in the second half. Villa probably the better side in the second half, more possession, but it never really hurt us.
In terms of the draw and the semi-final, how important is the venue for the second leg?
Well, when you get draws like that, you tend to think the second leg is beneficial for you if you've got it as the home tie. So we've got to go to West Ham and try and play a game in the first leg to take a result back to Birmingham, which can look towards us winning that tie to get to this final.
Were there ever any points when you thought that you might lose this game today, or was it relatively comfortable, as comfortable as you can be in a big derby like this?
It was never comfortable, no, but Villa had a lot of possession. They knocked it about better. I thought they knocked it about better than we did, to be fair to them. But you know, to have some chances in the first half and to possibly go in at half-time 2-0 was disappointing. The fact that we lost the goal to Agbonlahor, a good finish. But I had a good feeling about it today. I felt good. I was quite calm in the dugout, normally ranting and raving and kicking every ball with the lads, but I felt good for them, and I'm pleased, really delighted for them, because they've met a lot of challenges, this team, over the last year and a half now. And I've asked them to keep rising to the challenges, and this was another one tonight, and they've done it.
Is this cup run the sort of thing that you think can give the whole club a boost in terms of the battle that you've got to stay in the league as well? Does it lift everybody?
Yeah, of course it does. It's a fantastic occasion going to the semi-final, although it's a home and away slot and a chance to go to Wembley. The fact that we've got this far is terrific. We always talk about the bread and butter, but we have every respect for the Carling Cup, and now we've got this far, we want to try and go all the way. We know that there's some great teams in the semi-final. Ipswich, a marvellous result tonight, well done to Roy Keane, and it shows that anything can happen in cup competition. So if Ipswich believe they could beat West Brom, which they did, we've got to believe that we can beat West Ham and you know, go to the final.
In some quarters, the headlines will not be about football. I know you're aware of that. Is there an element of regret within you at what happened after the final whistle?
Yeah, I'm disappointed with that side of things. Fans shouldn't come onto the pitch at any time. And that is the disappointing aspect for me tonight. That sours it a bit for us.
And it's a World Cup bid week. There's so much attention on that. There's so much attention on English football generally. It's the last thing that you guys wanted to be involved in, isn't it?
Well, I don't think that will affect the World Cup bid. I'm sure that has already been decided, and we'll hear tomorrow. And let's hope England get it, because they certainly deserve it.
Do you expect some sort of sanctions for what the fans did?
I don't know. You would have to speak to our administration people. It's not for me to comment on that. But it doesn't look good when you see the fans running on like that, and some of the carry on going on in the pitch, and between the interaction between the terracings and the pitch, it's just it takes us back to the dark ages. I didn't like that at all.
On the football side, it's a great night for you. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well, the stewards here were simply swamped as a flood of fans went onto the pitch at the end of the game. There was nothing they could do to stop them, and then despite the police presence, and it's a major police presence, seats and more alarmingly flares thrown among the Aston Villa fans. You can see there quite clearly what's going on. Really concerning scenes here at St Andrews after the conclusion of the game there. The Villa fans, well, they were throwing seats onto the pitch here as well. You can see just what's left and the damage that has been done here, which looks to be pretty significant. After that confrontation between Birmingham fans and Villa supporters. Birmingham fans desperate to taunt their beaten rivals, and I'm afraid the scenes were most unsavoury. Which does rather sour the occasion for Birmingham City, but nevertheless, what did Alec McLeish get right tonight, do you think, Alan?
When he said he gave the competition the utmost respect, Jeff, I think he's right. I think that's as strong a team out with maybe starting Craig Gardner that he could possibly have played. He couldn't play Alexander Lev. He picked up an injury against the 1-1 draw against Fulham. Started Zigic up front, takes a bit of a chance. But he played a strong team. You know, I heard you saying in the programme already that, you know, West Brom didn't. You know, well, and they've paid the price. Dead simple. I know that, you know, everybody wants to stay in the Premier Division, but I think Alex has shown exactly what this meant to his football club and also to the competition.
Let's hear from Gerard Houllier now. He's with Andy.
Gerard, what's your reaction to the performance tonight?
Well, I'm very disappointed for the fans, very disappointed for the players, because I think they played well and we were probably the better team overall, and maybe we deserved a bit more, the qualification. It's just a shame that probably we made some silly mistakes that cost the goals, but that's football.
Is this the sort of defeat that would be hard to lift your players from, in terms of, you know, picking them up and getting the chins off the floor?
We were stunned because I don't think the boys deserve to be out of the competition tonight. In fairness, we seem to play better, and we probably are more confident in what we're doing. Maybe we lack some goals as well, let's be honest. But we can't score 3 goals every game, you know.
You said before the game you wanted this to be a football match, and I know you were referring to your players. In terms of what happened after the game, how disappointing is that for English football, for the city, and for everybody involved here?
No, I didn't see what happened, really. And
look, there was about 3,000 fans on the pitch. They were throwing flares at each other, and your fans were throwing chairs at the Birmingham fans. That was what was happening.
I'm sorry, I left the pitch very early. I didn't see what happened.
Okay, Gerard, thank you.
Gerard Houllier obviously bitterly disappointed with events here at St Andrews this evening. Just time to say thank you very much indeed to Alan Kirbysh and Alan McAnally for your company here this evening. Highlights, of course, of all 4 of those quarter-finals in the Carling Cup. You can see those tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock, Sky Sports HD1. So, flares and seats are thrown at the end of this game to rather tarnish the occasion, but it's Birmingham City who are into the semi-finals of the Carling Cup. A 6'8" Nikola Zigic inches out Aston Villa. Bye-bye.
More sport, news, views and video on Sky Player, Sky Mobile TV and at skysports.com.
Oh, and it's a good cross. Gets that down again. Yep, out of the way, man. Oh, here we go. Come on.
Sponsored by Bet365.